If you guys recall, I had the same issue because in the year 2021, two of my all-time top three villains were in movies, live-action movies that year, and they were nerfed.
Yep.
Carnage and Taskmaster. Now we're getting Kraven, who is a villain that people have wanted to see on the live screen for a long time, and he's already not the Kraven that I'm accustomed to seeing and reading about.
I can get your frustrations with that, but his reactions and his movement and his abilities,
Yes.
it looks like they caught that.
That's my hesitation with Kraven.
I'm looking forward to this one.
I don't know a lot of Kraven's story.
It had me cracking up when he bit the dude's nose off.
It's like, is this supposed to take place in like one of the other Spider-Man universes?
Okay, here we go. That is not Sergei Kravinoff.
Yeah,
that is somebody else. I'll just say this quick point. What I'm seeing here is Sony, Marvel are taking villains and humanizing them, which is a topic that I've always had a weird disdain for. And now they're taking Kraven and, oh, I hate my daddy's business, so now I'm gonna be a vigilante towards my father type of situation is kind of what I'm getting. And again, that's not the Sergei Kravinoff I grew up seeing.
Yeah, I feel like it's a completely different movie. It's not. Don't call it Kraven. Call it something else.
I'm curious. What universe is this supposed to be taking place in? That's my biggest question. Considering that Aaron Taylor Johnson was Quicksilver in the Avengers movies, and then Russell Crowe was Zeus in the last Thor movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, is this supposed to take place in like one of the other Spider-Man universes?
It ain't Earth 616, I tell you that.
Could be the same universe that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is from.
And that's what I was wondering, like, because they mentioned the Rhino in there, so does that mean that it's going to take place in his universe?
Can't be, because if you remember at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Rhino was the funny guy, blue, and he had the robot Rhino suit, so can't be the same Rhino.
Y'all are going to hate me for this. This is my first time seeing that trailer. I liked it.
I will say this. I want to see the movie, because I think it'll be a decent movie, but that's not Sergei Kravinoff.
Yeah, that's not.
That's
you know
somebody
what I'm saying?
completely different.
And if you guys recall, I had the same issue because in the year 2021, two of my all-time top three villains were in movies, live-action movies that year, and they were nerfed. Carnage and Taskmaster. Now we're getting Kraven, who is a villain that people have wanted to see on the live screen for a long time, and he's already not the Kraven that I'm accustomed to seeing and reading about.
I can get your frustrations with that, but his reactions and his movement and his abilities, it looks like they caught that.
It felt like Sabretooth from Wolverine Origins.
Yes, that's a good callback. That's a really good callback.
Yeah, I can get behind that. And again, it looked cool. It looked like a good movie. Like, I'm pretty sure the acting is going to be amazing. One, because ATJ is like that, and Russell Crowe.
It had me cracking up when he bit the dude's nose off and put bear traps in the dude's face. So I'm invested. I want to see it, but I think this is just like a one-off movie. It's a one-shot to me.
Now, here's a question for the group. I didn't grow up reading a lot of Kraven comics. Was there a radioactive lion situation going on that we don't know about? Like,
I don't know a lot of Kraven's story.
Yeah,
For me seeing this, I'm just like, it looks cool, but like, I don't know a lot of Kraven's story.
So, okay, that leads me to ask you a question then. With you not knowing a lot of Kraven's story, how did you feel about the trailer? I have my own reservations because of what I've seen of Kraven growing up. But if you haven't seen a lot of Kraven, how do you feel about it?
Whenever I was first watched it, because this is my second time watching the trailer, I actually am excited for it. It looks pretty cool. I like the gruesomeness of it. I don't know if that's his true story with like how he got bit by a lion and like he gets the powers and abilities and stuff. I don't know how his story goes. So I'm interested to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about Kraven's backstory. I do know that he's a part of the Sinister Six. And if we want to talk about any movies that would line up with, it would be the Amazing Spider-Man series with Andrew Garfield. Because we started to see the Sinister Six, and we actually saw in the second movie all of their suits at the end of the movie, if anybody remembers that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I know he's a Spider-Man villain. That's about all that I know.
Well, this is the thing, because initially I thought that that's the direction that they were heading with Tom Holland's Spider-Man from at least the first two movies. I mean, No Way Home, which was the greatest Spider-Man movie, in my personal opinion, that's number one. I thought with them introducing Vulture, Shocker, Mysterio, that's the direction that they were heading. So if it's going to be Andrew Garfield, who would he be facing, right? Because Venom was originally, I thought, part of Tom Holland's universe.
And I feel like we're still grasping at straws on this, but I think Marvel is trying to bring every piece of this universe together now because they're moving away from the Avengers, but they're bringing in, Blade, we have Morbius, all of these characters have interacted with Spider-Man consistently on the side.
Didn't Venom get transported at the end of his movie? Like,
they did something with Across the Spider-Verse to connect them,
right?
Which is Sony, where they had Spot pop up in the convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
But again, what is one thing that all of the names Naj just mentioned have in common? Anti-heroes, vigilante. I mean, they're Blade, Morbius, Venom.
Yeah, it's like they're looking at not just like how they're doing at Phase 5 right now and Phase 6, but also just different phases of superheroes. We went from the X-Men with the mutants. We went to the Avengers with basically these different aliens, these different entities. And then with the TV shows, we had like the Defenders. We had more ground level heroes.
That was good.
So it's like whenever they first came out with like Deadpool, and like he's supposed to be that anti-hero, the anti-hero that everyone loves. It's like they're capitalizing off of the anti-hero genre and trying to make every villain into an anti-hero.
And what's the first thing I said? Humanizing villains.
Humanizing the villain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Joker.
I'm looking forward to this one. I don't really have high hopes for what Marvel is doing because there's no visible plan.
And I think we mentioned that in a previous video. It's very hard to see what direction Marvel's trying to go in right now.
Mm-hmm.
We can make a lot of different speculations on what they're going to do, but nothing's really concrete.
Let me ask a question. How did y'all feel about Morbius? Because, I mean, just from the trailers, Morbius looked amazing. But when I watched the movie, there still left a lot to be desired. That's my hesitation with Kraven. I just feel like right now the track record is kind of, I'm not sure.
I didn't hate this. I love this. Like
exactly.
the No Way Home.
Or Across the Spider-Verse.
Right.
Or Across the Spider-Verse, yep.
Because Venom 2, I hated it. Carnage didn't get the screen time I felt he deserved, but I loved Woody Harrelson's acting. I loved a lot of things in the movie. I didn't hate Black Widow. I just hate how they depicted Taskmaster because Taskmaster's not a robot. You know what I mean? And then the backstory was just completely wrong. So that's the point.
Like how
they weren't bad movies.
Like how I hated the Flash movie.
I knew it was coming. So I didn't get to be on that episode, but I did not hate the Flash movie. But we're not getting into that.
So me and my cousin were having a big old debate Friday night about the future of Marvel and what the hell they're trying to do. And we're trying to explain to my one cousin who's a big Harry Potter fan, the Marvel comics is written differently from Harry Potter books. You have like a main overarching story, but there's all these side stories that happen and also alternative universes as well as the what ifs. She didn't understand like why couldn't the story be linear? Why does it have to go in this direction? We were referring Guardians of the Galaxy specifically. She didn't understand why we needed to focus on Rocket. So for what Sony's doing right now, it's like, are they going to really merge all these movies and make them cohesive like what the original MCU is doing? Or is it going to be like another like, hey, we tossed something up in the air, let's see what happens. Falls flat. Because again, we talked about Venom 2. Venom 2, it's whack. I wanted maximum carnage. They said let there be carnage, but I didn't feel that. I didn't get...
They watered Carnage down because Carnage is...
Yeah.
They made it PG-13.
Because Carnage is way too vicious.
They just keep doing one-off movies, but they're not showing how the movies tie together. And by the time they get to where they're trying to be, everyone's going to forget what they did in the past. Like, I forgot that movie. I didn't like this movie.
I'll say one thing. The only Marvel movie that I'm looking forward to is Deadpool 3. The only reason why I say that is because of everything that they're actually confirming and how they brought the date up forward. Mind you, it is on a pause right now because of everything, but Kevin Feige actually wanted to push this forward because of everything that it could potentially wrap up and connect.
We're talking about the potential of what could be and the whole introduction of the X-Men properly. You know what I mean? It's like a hey, allow me to reintroduce myself. This is Wolverine in the proper yellow suit. quasi proper. And then there's supposed to be some epic battle between Scarlet Witch and Dark Phoenix.
You should have been Kraven, Hugh Jackman.
No, I think you see that's where I don't agree.
But
I don't agree with that because I feel like Kraven was only a little bit bulkier up top than he portrayed himself in that trailer.
So Kraven has done things to help out Spider-Man in the past. He was hunting him because that's what he does.
Yeah.
I hunt unique, rare creatures. You're a unique, rare creature. You're a human Spider-Man. So I'm hunting you because I love the hunt. But when it came down to him doing humane things, he still was a human, and he's helped and aided Spider-Man in more than one occasion. So again, I think they're going after specific types of anti-heroes to make these movies. I don't know if there is a continuity that they're trying to put together. I think they're just making movies.
I think they're just going to try to tie everything together between Doctor Strange and Deadpool, because Deadpool, he always breaks the fourth wall in every universe. And then Doctor Strange created multiverse with Kang.
We'll see. Everybody tell us what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know.